Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Well, good afternoon, people. We are here again. Today has been a real weird day for me. I don't know why. Real weird day. Got some stuff going on, and I got caught up in it. I guess it's man. I'm sitting here thinking about all those folks out there who are going through this mess here with this knucklehead. But most people and stuff are out there still doing what they're supposed to do. They have to do this because if they stop or they slow down, they probably won't make it. I went to the bank today and talked to the tellers and stuff there. And to the person and stuff, they realized that if this old boy continued to do what he is doing, he's going to bankrupt his country. He's going to bankrupt it. And the sad part about it that a lot of your financial people, they know that he's going to bankrupt it. Stock market just didn't fall real bad, but they went down a little bit because he reinforced that he was going to put that 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico. Now, what makes him think that he's going to help this country by putting a 25% tariff on your neighbors? That's just like me going next door and telling my neighbor, give me 25% of your pay. What is he or she going to do? My neighbor is going to do. They're going to look at me like I'm crazy. So what is wrong with you? I'm not giving you my 25% of my pay that I get. And I'm pretty sure right after that, they're going to look at me and stuff like there's something wrong with me. Maybe he is sick or need to go to see the doctor or a psychiatrist or something. And I'm pretty sure that's probably what Trudeau and girlfriend down in Mexico are thinking, that this man is a fool. That's the only thing I can think. And his own people, the ones that put him in office, are hollering and screaming at this mess that's going on. And guess what them ignoramuses are doing? They're sitting up there with their congressmen and all this there. Well, those are Democrats over there. They just mad. Those are Democrats. They just had a little meeting conference uh, with the news media, and the speaker didn't say this. He said some dumb B up there to tell them this mess, and she did. She's sitting up there just spouting off what they told her to say, and the speaker sitting back just looking at her, because guess what? When he catch him lying, he gonna say, "I don't know what." The speaker gonna say, "I didn't know what she was doing." How? So they peeing on us and telling us it's rain, and we supposed to believe it, and it's stinking. These people are over there in conservative red states. There's a whole lot of Democrats over there standing up and coming to these meetings. Some of these folks and stuff, they're sitting down and there people, they got so mad at him that the man started talking, he couldn't even finish. They just shouting at him. And he just walked out the door. What do you say? What did they say? I don't understand. I really don't. Just keep on lying and hopefully everything will be okay. Keep lying, everything will be okay. Don't tell the truth, everything will be okay. March 14th is what? 11 days away. Nobody has even thought about telling them what they're going to do with their budget. You don't pay your bills, what happens? You get foreclosed on. Oh man,
That's what it does, bro.
it's unbelievable, man. This is totally unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
That's what he do.
I don't believe this old man. I guess he used to being bankrupt because that's his modus operandi. And anytime he have a business, he just bankrupts it. And I'm not gonna pay them. But has the full faith and strength of the United States government sitting here, and he's sending them down the tubes. And those fools are sitting there walking it right down the tubes. So, Mr. Harvey, I think today might have been a good day to bring your Bible out and have a prayer and say, Lord, help us here. We need some help because we we can't make this stuff alone. Oh, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall feel no evil, for thou art with me.
It's a funny thing, that what you're saying, all of this is just game plan. And they're using the clown to do it. Because whether we want to admit it or not, and people don't, maybe, people don't look at the big picture. They don't look at the circumstances of what's going on, whether money is being penetrated, who's investing in what, who's controlling what. And when you look at the big picture, look at the population. The European population, I'm sitting here looking at it right now. And, they ain't got no people, bro. They ain't got no people. You got Russia got only 144 million people. Germany only 84 million. United Kingdom is only 69. France 66. Italy 59. Poland 38. And you can go on and on. It gets lower and lower and lower and lower. And you're talking 44 countries. Then you look at their GDP. Nothing. Nothing. So when you look at their situation, they're in bad shape, bro. Now, because of our economy, the way it works, we can print money, we can borrow money, like you just said, and all of that. And we've been made a deal with the European people that, we'll put our soldiers out there, to keep the peace so that they won't beat up each other. But at the same time, they realize that they're going down, down, down as far as population. And a lot of those European countries, they're not doing so well. Now, the reason why, in my opinion, is because they do not want these black and brown and lack of a better term, yellow, talking about Asian people, that's what they used to call us, black, brown, red, yellow. It's constantly growing, populating, regardless of the condition that these people are in, like Africa, different parts of Africa, the continent of Africa, a lot of countries are doing bad. China, they got hundreds of thousands of people living in poverty. India, the same situation. And then you look at America. $340 million people and over 50 million people is living in poverty in America. That's designed. Because capitalism, if you want to talk about capitalism does work. It does work. You call me up and I'm a plumber or I'm a carpenter and you say, Ted, I need you to do this and such for me, I'll pay you. Okay, I'll charge $20 an hour, plus you got to buy the equipment. I make a salary. I just made $20 an hour. It's going to take me 40 hours to do this job. Capitalism does work, but it has to be done reasonable. It has to be done reasonable. But what they have found out that if they start businesses and put it into a gambling casino, we can manipulate the money. I invest in your company and then turn around. I might make some money, I might lose some money. So capitalism has become a nasty word. People are about, when you say socialism don't work. Communism don't work. None of that stuff works. So in order for capitalism to work, you have to be a fair-minded person. The Bible tells us that. Don't let your scales be uneven. In other words, don't be ripping people off. Don't push the scales down so that you can make more money. Don't use usury. So, and I said all that to say this. I look at our poor black people, man, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm not going to go off on it, but, I was just thinking, when we was coming up here and we was living in Chicago as young kids before we moved out to Hopkins, don't you remember we had all kind of black businesses all in the neighborhood? Do you remember that? Huh? We had cleaners and restaurants and all kind of shops and this and that. What happened to those businesses?
Our people didn't support them,
They were supported for years.
but they
They
stopped.
were supported for years. What
But they
happened was we were doing just fine. Not just fine. It was some issues because the Great Migration, when that happened, so many people came from the South and looking for jobs and all of that because they was running away from, let's face it, they was running away from the Klan. They was running away from these white racists. And so a lot of our parents moved from the South, moved to Chicago, moved to New York, moved to California. We got out of the South because we wanted a better life. Because a lot of our parents were sharecroppers. A lot of our parents was barely making it. And most of them didn't even have an education. There were some that was fortunate enough they got their high school degree and their college degree, and they was, and they had their own little businesses or something going on and all of that. They became doctors and lawyers. We've been having doctors and lawyers for hundreds of years in this country. But the bottom line is that it was only very few. And very few, and then the thing is, what happened to all of those people that were trained to be plumbers? We had a whole lot of plethora of people that knew how to build stuff, know how to be a plumber, electrician, all of those things. So now we have got a generation of people, and I'm one of them because I wanted to learn it, but my mother didn't want me to go to trade school. I'm one of them that you didn't learn a trade. So now we got a bunch of people that don't know how to do anything. If you didn't get your college degree and work in the corporate world, or, management, accountant, salesperson, that kind of, those types of positions, then, you just, I would say, a low-level worker that's disposable. And even now, you can have, you can dispose because of the technology. But the bottom line is that we have gotten caught up thinking that we're like them. We're not like them. We try to be like them, but we're not like them. And we have lost our way. That's why right now we are in the shape we're in. We try to be like them, try to have our little house and our 2 cars and, have our little plush job or whatever. And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's not a thing wrong with that. But the point is, they're not going to leave you alone because it's going to always be inflation, 2 to 4%, if not higher. So that means you got to always keep making more money. It's going to be competition. So if you got your own little business, whatever it is, it can be whatever. You can even have a plumbing job, but hey, it's hundreds of thousands of plumbers. So if you ain't giving the people the kind of service they want and the price ain't right, you ain't gonna make no money. So the competition is there. Then if you got a business, you gotta be supplied. You gotta have supplies. That costs money. Who you gonna buy it from? Who's the distributor? Who provides those essentials that you need to run your business? They can cost you out. So the thing is that we have come to the point is that we don't do things from A to Z. From A to Z. And it's hard to do that from A to Z. Having a business and running that business and going to a person that's going to be fair-minded with you because you're going to rely on certain people to keep that business going. So that's where we are right now. Right now, we are at we can't do nothing without the white people. We can't do nothing about the white people because here we are, the people that got money, they invested in white people stuff. I'm going to invest $10 million in Krispy Kreme. I'm going to invest $10 million in Wendy's. There ain't nothing wrong with that because you as an individual, as a family, you're going to make money. But you ain't building nothing. You ain't really building nothing because they can take those franchises from you or they can go out of business anytime. Because you're dependent on their product in order for you to run your franchise. So I'm saying all that. If you think about what I just said earlier, you look at all of those countries, you look at America, and within America, we have tribal people that are working their own lifestyle, their own life. And I'm talking about majority of us, are just out there, depending on somebody to give us a job, depending on somebody to, allow us to buy property in their home, in their neighborhood, depending on somebody to allow somebody to rent their apartments to us, depending on somebody, that we eat at their restaurant. Well, look at the protest, bro. You look at that protest, and yeah, they might be, people stop shopping at Target, and yeah, they hurting Target, and we letting Target know. But we'll see what that outcome is, because I don't think these people gonna change their mind, bro. When it comes to this DEI, they're not gonna change their mind. They're not gonna change their mind. And DEI is real, and it should happen because all it's doing is opening doors for all other people. But they're not going to change their mind when it comes to that. All these companies have distinguished that product. So that means that you go to college, you look for a job. Your president just signed off, no African can come to this country except South Africans. So you make sense of that. People don't realize, man, we're in a transition, and these white folks is trying to stay alive. Everything they're doing is to suppress, and then everything they do is uplift them to make it better for them. I haven't seen nothing that they're doing to uplift any of us. Where's our leadership, bro?
Well, I was
Where's our
wondering
leadership?
when I was wondering when we were going to get back to what's going on here right now, and it affects not only us, it affects everybody around us. It affects your neighbor, it affects everybody, whether they're white, black, pink, purple, orange, yellow, or whatever. It is going to affect us, and we are all in this daggone boat together. And if we don't work together, we're going to drown. We are going to drown, whether you black or you white or whatever. They all in that same boat. They are going to drown.
So you think so, huh?
Yes, I know so. We are going to drown. And it's going to hurt them just as bad as it's going to hurt us.
Okay.
What is going on now and what's getting ready to happen, everybody is going to have big troubles and stuff out here. And it's not I don't believe it's a us against them thing. I believe it's a country against a country and stuff now.
Nope.
Yep, it's a country against a country.
Those, when you say country against a country, you're talking about business. You're talking about product. This is what this is all about. I'm talking about policy. I'm talking about things of what they're doing to suppress. You know, these business people are playing games and wanting dominance over certain people. This is business stuff.
Yeah.
These corporations, all these corporations are trying to manipulate and trying to figure out how can they dominate the market.
And that dominating by these corporations is what's going to help bring us down. All of us, we all in the same boat. We're gonna have to realize we have to realize, Jared, that there is a big change coming. When you have an enemy out there called the big bad, the big Russia, and your president is rocking in the same boat with him and deciding that this is what we want to do, that he's going to change this order and stuff of this whole world.
What makes Russia big?
Trouble.
What makes Russia big?
What?
I just told you they only got 144 million people.
It doesn't matter.
What makes them big?
Doesn't matter.
No, you just said the big Russia. What makes Russia big?
he, they have a society where they have a dictator, and we are in the throes of a dictatorship right here in our country.
And what are we doing about it?
You're gonna have to do something because, like I just said, we all in the same boat together. We got a
But
dictator
I'm
getting
asking you,
ready to
what are we
take
going to
over.
do about it?
A dictator that's getting ready to take over. That means that that we have to, all of us have to decide if this we want to be under a tyranny or a dictatorship or totalitarian government, or we want to be a democratic country.
When you have 60 million people that's going along with this, and we have people that's out there in the street protesting, what is that going to do? You say
It's a
we all
start.
have to stick together,
It's a start.
but
It's a
I'm
start.
not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
It's a start. I didn't say that it's a cure all. It's a start. You're gonna have to do something. You have a political party and stuff out there that has decided in so many words that they have allowed a individual to decide that he wants to change the political atmosphere of his country. He wants to be a totalitarian leader and not have a democracy
What's
like
the
we've been
solution?
having.
What's the solution?
Whatever, it doesn't matter what
Do
might be
you
the
think?
solution.
Do you think?
Anything that can be done and stuff right now, we need to get out there and do it, whether we are whatever, anything. And all hands on deck, sir. All hands on deck. That's what we got. All hands on deck. Whatever what anybody can do. All we have to get in this together. That means we're going to have to reach out there to those folks out there in those bygone states and stuff and everything and say, hey, fella, we with you. Our country is going down. We are no longer a democratic state, a democratic country. We are moving into a totalitarian nation. When you have a president that decides that they want to side with your enemy, a communist enemy that's been around for many, many, many years, and that's all he cares about, then we got trouble.
I don't see nobody doing nothing.
Doesn't matter if you don't see anybody doing something. What's up? There's something got to be. There's some things going on behind the scenes, but you've got folks out there who are afraid to stand up and say that this crap is wrong. And as long as he is able to push that needle and keep pushing that needle and keep pushing that needle and stuff into that totalitarian area and stuff to where he becomes the almighty ruler and stuff of this country and everybody got to follow him and your ruling party and stuff and everything is saying, okay, we're going to follow him. That what he has done and what he is doing is right because he said, this is what I want to happen.
Well,
You
like I said,
have,
until I start seeing powerful people step up, because really the only thing that these major top 100 companies care about is their corporation.
And that's why that pressure has to be put upon them to decide, you spent your money, you have decided that all the money and all the power you have, as far as the newspapers and all this other stuff and everything in the media, not telling the American people the truth about what's getting ready to happen, you have a problem. But it's the fact that those, and I hate to keep saying, I hate to follow this man and stuff and say what he got to say because I just hate how he says it and everything. But he's probably right. You have these oligarchs who decide that this is what they want. This is what they want to do. They want to take this country and stuff and be able to do what the hell they want to do because they have the money. And this man is taking them to that point so they can be rich and then the other folks is poor. And just like you just talked about, we have an enormous amount of people out there who are poor. And your middle class starts shrinking, and the poor folks getting bigger, and the rich folks are getting richer. And you don't have any people there in the middle class because it's shrinking. That's what they want. Doesn't matter if they white, because they got white folks out there who are in that boat right now. They are suffering just like you and I are, and all our people and stuff are out there doing. They out there suffering. We just looking at them and stuff and saying, "Well, they white people, we don't care," but we in that same boat with them. And
Well, have they realized that though, Ed?
as we seen that this old radical and stuff, Bernie Sanders, he walking over there into the lion's den, and they accepted him because they know that we in trouble. We in trouble. And he's sitting down there, walking over there and talking to them, and they are welcoming what he has to say because before he couldn't have done all that and been and walked over there and said anything. They probably would have booed him out of the daggone room, but they didn't this time because they understand what the heck is going on and that there is trouble out there. And we ain't too far away from bankrupting this country.
Man, you want to talk about capitulation? The DOD secretary suspends offensive cyber operations against Russia.
Correct.
The DOD secretary changes Pentagon posture on Musk emails.
That is correct. That is correct. They are allowing them to get away with murder in this country. And they're leaning toward them. And you have your staunch folks who hate it, who've been hating that country for decades, aren't opening their mouth and saying one word. He's got these people in charge. He's got his people to do what the heck that he wants them to do, and they are doing it. He is systematically tearing down all the entities and stuff in our federal government, removing the safeguard that's out there to make sure that there are checks and balances there. And those checks and balances are leaving us. The inspector generals are leaving. They're fired. We don't want anybody to inspect what we're doing. We don't need all those people in the federal government. We're going to take them out. There's too many people out there. They're taking your money. They got all the money. They're taking it. We need those folks. We need FEMA. All the he firing all the managers in FEMA. Eventually, there won't be a reaction to any natural disasters in this country anymore. You're taking them all away. Now, I'm not a fan of those conservatives or whatever. They had a major flooding and stuff going on there in Kentucky, and FEMA didn't show up.
Ooh.
They didn't show up. Your president went golfing down in Mar-a-Lago. Didn't even say a word about them. Some people up there are suffering right now. You got Californians still trying to get out of the thorough and stuff of all them fires and stuff they had and all the other stuff that's going on. Those people not going to get a dime. The insurance company left the company. They just left and said, we ain't covering these people. Where's your FEMA people at to help these folks out to get them back on their feet? They gone. This man has devastated them. We're sitting around here and have created a entity called USAID. Now, when people look at that, they say, well, it means we're going to send aid to foreign countries. But the system was set up to also help the people here in this country. These people aren't being paid for the service that they're giving, that they have given to USAID. They're going bankrupt. Farmers. And they're hollering and screaming at their representative, and they're turning their back on them.
Hey, here's the big picture. Here, let me just cut you off for a second. Here's the big picture. The news people is not even reporting it, bruh. They're not even reporting it, letting the people know.
He hasn't said that you have 16 countries who buy our bad paper. They're not going to buy it anymore.
Wait a minute, run that by me again.
16 foreign countries buy our bad paper. They buy our debt certificates.
Yeah.
They're buying it. They are saying that they are no longer buying our debt. $16. We're not going to buy your debt no more. Nobody buy your debt. What you going to do? Keep on printing paper? You're going to keep on printing that dollar bill? And they're going to mean the good faith and judgment of whoever it is that's backing that thing up is no longer going to be there, because these people and stuff going to say, we don't want your paper because it don't mean nothing. It has no value to us at all. And when that comes, we definitely in trouble. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there remember about the Mexican peso. That thing, most of the people were throwing that stuff away. It didn't mean nothing when we hit it that way.
What you talking about? The American dollar ain't gonna mean nothing?
Yes, sir.
The American dollar is zero anyway.
they're slowly losing it, Ted, out there in that marketplace. They are slowly losing it out there in the marketplace. There are countries and stuff now who are getting together to not use the US dollar as the main source of payment for anything, products or anything out there. They're going to start using their own money. And when that happens and stuff, woe is the dollar. Mr. Yang Jiangping called up these folks over here and said, I'm canceling all my contract with you all. I don't need your grain. I don't need your pigs. I don't need your wheat, your soybean. I get my stuff from the people who have taken my money, and I have helped them to build a farming empire in Brazil and Argentina. They can feed almost all their people, the billion people. He ain't said nothing about that because he ain't looking at that. All he's looking at is the fat in his pocket. He ain't said a word. And the newspaper ain't gonna say it either. They gonna open their mouth because they done bought them. You know, you can't say that. Old Bezo and all his henchmen and stuff. We ain't gonna print all that stuff. Canada then cut the spigot off. They ain't shipping the oil down here no more. That stuff is going out on the West Coast on ships over to China and Japan. And they got another pipeline headed out on the East Coast. So they're going to start supplying the European Union with crude. We buy our electricity in the Northeast from Canada. When that man come tomorrow says that 25% tariff goes into effect, guess what's going to happen with the electricity coming in there in the northeast part of our country?
He don't know how the world works, bro.
He doesn't. He has no idea what he's doing. None whatsoever. All them people waiting on is for him to enact it. Then they going to hit them switches. Up, we going to shut the electricity off on the Northeast. It's going to hurt they people, but it's going to hurt us a lot worse. That means that we're going to have to find some power to power up those states up there in the Northeast. China wants to choke us off. They looking to be number one.
Oh yeah, our GDP then went down already.
Yes, sir. They looking to be number one. Now, most of them other countries, they don't want that to happen because they don't trust China. But they can't trust us either because of that man in that White House. And nobody wants to stand up and tell him that them tariffs, buddy, is tearing us apart. They want to deal with us because we're still a big dog out here. We got a hell of a market here in this country. But eventually, they're going to give up. They taking their stuff and they taking their toys and put them in another playpen. And we sitting here laughing and worried about a whole lot of other mess and stuff. And that man, he ain't even thinking about that. That is not even on his mind. And nobody has the gall to tell him, Donald, the people in this country pay the tariffs. We pay them tariffs, not the foreign country. And no matter what anybody tells him, he doesn't believe it. When they bring the stuff here and the tariff is on it, 25% tariff, if these people want to keep on bringing their products here and stuff, we got to pay the 25%.
And when you say we, you're talking the American people.
American people. The American people got to pay it. And just like the car industry is talking about here, they have set up a system to where they have on-time delivery for all their parts and the stuff that goes on these daggone cars. And if you shut that thing off for a week, it will devastate the car industry. People are going to be laid off. They're going to have to be working. They're going to have a job. That's how tight they have set this thing up, because we had open borders. Mexico, Canada, the borders are open. They can bring their products in and out here without any problem at all. They just come across their border. Boom, bam, 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 bam. Can't do it now, because you dumping the tariff on that stuff. They done already enacted 100% tariff on Tesla cars in Canada and in Europe. And the dumb Elon Musk, guess what that fool has done? He done increased the prices of his cars, $9,000. So you increase the price of your car $9,000. That means that instead of the $9,000, the people over there in the other country are going to have to pay what? If it's 100% tariff, they're going to have to pay an additional $18,000 for your car. Who will going to buy it? He's a great businessman. He knows how to do what he's doing because he's the richest man in the world. Ain't that the smartest thing in the world? You're going to up your prices of your car, and then already said we put 100% tariff on your car. And he said, well, I'm going to increase the price of my car. You talking about killing off Tesla. That's the death row.
I wonder what China's going to do. You know, he got a facility in China.
They have what?
He has a facility in China.
In China?
Yeah.
They can't sell them there. Xiao Jinping said, you can't sell Tesla here. So we make electric cars. They got China cars that coming out there electric, and they letting their people buy they cars. They putting the screws on us. They screwing us down because of that knucklehead putting them tariffs on us. You need to find another way. If you want to get somebody to do something, find another way of doing it that you ain't hurting the people here in this country. And tariffs ain't. These folks, man, his neighbors are finalizing trade deals right now with other countries. Damn the United States. Canada has signed one with Europe. You already done signed a bunch of them with China. And they done built a pipeline that goes across Canada, east and west. That South Pipeline, they done forgot about it. It comes into the United States. They done forgot about it. They got a pipeline now going east and west. They want to supply the East Coast and the West Coast with their oil. And they just finished it up last year.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. All of those things we know, and we're connected with the world in every kind of way, and could be even more so.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, bro, the thing is the bottom line is that it's about these YT people. They put them in office. They put these knuckleheads in office. This is what it's all about. And they don't get it.
And you got folks just like you talking about, Ted, telling them folks who did it, you the fool who put him in office. You the fool who put him in office. But yes, they did. But what is that doing for us? Because we all rocking, like I just said, we all rocking in that same daggone boat that they rocking in. So I told you so ain't going to get it.
But
they know it. They know it now. They know it now.
But the thing is, when you say, I made a statement not to belittle them, but what I'm saying is that you have a diehard group of people, millions. They will not change their mind no matter what.
They are changing their mind now, Ted. They are changing their minds. Fox News is going out there and telling these folks and stuff and everything who going to these daggone town halls and cussing out their representative that them ain't Republicans, those are Democrats. They're sending Democrats over there. George Soros is paying Democrats to go to these meetings and stuff and disrupt these meetings. Them meetings and stuff are them MAGA folks who voted for that knucklehead and they representatives. So you get on the daggone stage and you just lie. And because you control the media, nobody's saying anything. So those people who are sitting out there in these daggone meetings and stuff, who are the MAGA folks, who conservatives, who voted for him, and that daggone knucklehead representative they got, who was sitting up there in charge, and they telling that summer gun and everything, they booing the crap out of them. Them are Republicans who are doing that. Ain't no Democrats over there. Them all Republicans, no red states. They're hollering and screaming at him, booing him. Even down in Texas, they had one down in Texas. The man just got off the stage and said, "I'm gone." He left. And the audience looked around at each other and said, "Where'd he go? He gone." You don't want to hear y'all voice. Because he's in office for another, year and a half before he got to have another election. So he figured, hey, I ain't going to buck Trump. So forget y'all. And then go up there and your representatives and your Speaker of the House standing up there saying, "Them ain't our people." But the news media ain't covered it. Other than somebody got their camera there in the audience and they sending the feed out to wherever they can send it out to somebody who cares about it.
Hey, my last word is this, bro.
Go ahead.
Although they might be feeling it to a point, they ain't felt nothing yet. They ain't felt nothing yet. Like I said, when he first got in office, give it 6 months. Give it 6 months.
May not last. It may not be that long.
so when everything is going all right in your household, and hey, I got my job, Everything is cool. I got my cars. I got my house. I got this. I got that. And then when it hits you, then all hell breaks loose. That's the problem with this country now. It used to didn't be like that. It used to
Ted,
be about helping your neighbor.
I know. Ted, every first of the month, I get scared. I said, well, I have to look at my account. I said, oh, got my money this month. Because next month I may not get it. Because they didn't went in there and raped that daggone place. I got the people around the corner and see, oh, there it is. It showed up. Every month now, I'm starting to do it. Before, I ain't have to worry about it. Sit back, I know it's coming. I ain't got to worry about nothing. It's coming. But I'm scared now. It might not show up for 1 month. It may not show up. So I'm proactive. I'm looking for another source here, brother. And anybody else, if you are all the old people out there, you can better be looking for some other source here. Your folks over there in the nursing home, you better look out. They might be out in the street just a short period of time. You can't cut no $1 trillion from Medicaid, and it don't hurt. And that knucklehead sitting down there, are you gonna cut Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security? Oh, no, I ain't gonna bother. And he go right back over there and break some lady over the head who was a representative who voted no on the daggone bill, and he calls her up and everything and threatens her. You better vote for it. La la la. That's my thing. La 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 la. Oh man. It's a shame, man. I don't have nobody that I know in my family who in the nursing home. Everybody that had been in the nursing home and passed away now. But we ain't too far away from that nursing home, Ted. We ain't too far away.
That's true.
I see you coughing, man. It must have caught you there.
It's true.
Hey.
But the thing is that I don't know, man. I have no words right now. The thing is in my mind is that I've always had, and maybe I'm naive. I've always had faith in this country as far as security.
I have to.
I always had faith in this country that was going to always do the right thing for the people.
Yep. Especially
And
old people and the
yeah,
children.
and
And the
children.
children.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. And I mean, people can step up, but it might be too late, bro.
Could be.
Might be too late.
We got 11 days, Ted, to March the 14th. 11 days. In 11 days, we're going to find out if they're going to shut this country down or they're going to go ahead and pass the biggest budget in the world and stuff that's really going to kick us right over the cliff. Or if the Trump is going to do his usual, I'm going to take over and everything, and I'm going to tell you who I'm going to pay, just like he has always done in his businesses. They'll bring the budget to him and say, well, don't pay them, don't pay them, don't pay them, and keep going. Might reach that point. Don't pay them, don't pay them, don't pay them. Give me my money, but don't pay them. So, people, another day, another dollar. Oh man, That's why I'm feeling bad, Ted, because I'm sitting down there looking at this stuff, and I'm going and getting my news and stuff from these foreign folks and stuff and everything, because I can't depend on ABC or NBC or CNN to tell the truth. I don't even go to Fox because I know they're gonna lie. So I go find my news from somebody else. I don't go to the Washington Post anymore. I don't go to the New York Times anymore. Sometimes I'll read the headlines and stuff and look at it. I say, oh man, these Negroes are lying. They ain't telling the truth. And I'll delete them out. So I don't want to hear that stuff. Because they sit there and lie. They'll lie in a minute. They done got just like Fox now. They'll lie. Because they bosses and stuff say, hey, y'all better not tell the truth. I thought I could depend on them, Ted. The voice of the people. Freedom of the press.
We ain't got no press no more, bro.
Ain't no freedom of the press no more, brother. Yes, sir. And they got enough nerve to send me a request to buy their paper. Well, to get their news and stuff online. We're going to give you a 50% reduction. And that's for a 6-month subscription to look at our newspaper. I delete. As soon as I see it, I ain't got to read it. As soon as I see it, because it has a certain look to it. Oh, delete that. I'm not giving you a quarter for you to tell me a lie. Anyway, bye-bye, y'all.